All right, I believe this is episode 13 now of the Salty Sports Show. I'm here with Lincoln Steven, as always. And
All right.
I guess let's get right into it. We had a really good week of football. Unfortunately, on my end, no game attending this time around. But
Likewise. But they were in Cleveland. I actually almost went, but didn't do it.
you know
Just
what?
decided against it. It's a long drive, okay?
You know what?
Very long drive.
That was the move, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll be going this week though against the Lions, so you'll get to hear my firsthand experience again, which is I know I've been dying.
Yeah.
Everyone's been dying here.
Of course,
Everyone's been dying for it.
I guess we can kick off football, because you're going two games. We could, I guess, just quickly before we get into the games themselves, the news about Soldier Field and kind of the future
Oh
of the
yeah.
Bears. I'll let you take this one away, Steven.
I mean, it's been in the talks for like I'd say a couple. I mean, like about at least about a year now. I mean, everyone's been complaining about Soldier Field for way longer, obviously, but
They
I mean, they
butchered
really
it.
got serious. Yeah, no, for sure. Like they took off the registry. I mean, everything bad that could happen with it has happened. People have been complaining about it forever. And Arlington Heights is the perfect location. It's like a really nice, it's a pretty quaint spot. Not that big and big enough that they can do all their extravagant plans or whatnot with it. Since the Bears are, obviously a very expensive franchise, McCaskey's definitely have a lot of money to play with. In terms of building a new stadium, in terms of being outside Chicago, I don't think those concerns really merit too much. Really, I don't think those concerns really merit too much validity. I mean, honestly, so many teams play outside their city. It's not even funny. Arlington Heights is a bit of a drive from Chicago. I won't get too far into it since obviously none of you guys live close by.
I
But
guess
I mean, it's definitely a distance away, but it's not that bad. And compared to like how the new stadium could be, and just the upside of this move, it feels like it's well worth it because
I
it really feels like they had the opportunity to do something special here. Play a Super Bowl at this new stadium too, which would be awesome. Just so much.
I guess it's
Yeah,
just fair to
that's
say.
one of the things that was holding Soldier Field back in terms of like now. Is it like
Oh
now?
yeah,
I haven't seen the blueprints, but the fact that it's just too cold for any sort of Super Bowl in Chicago, especially in February, I can
yeah.
see
No, it's
like
always freezing.
yeah, and that's kind of sucks because I mean Chicago is the third biggest market in the United States. So I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, if they get a dome stadium and you can not only get Super Bowls but tons of probably high end concert, you can probably throw in like WrestleMania, all those big events. Should be fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
the upside is really high, both from the monetary perspective and just the experience. The new stadium's obviously going to be a huge upgrade over Soldier Field in any
Yeah.
capacity,
So I was
and it'll be
gonna.
nice to see that develop.
There's kind of two big things for me. One, in a city as big as Chicago, it's kind of a disgrace that you'd be in a stadium that small. I think it's the smallest in the league by capacity. Um,
Soldier Field.
yeah,
I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, what's that?
it's definitely down there. You'd think.
Because because no, like the original Soldier Field wasn't made for big capacity. They had to like really expand it, like
Yeah.
to fit like seating measures and stuff like that.
I'd
So like
say
it looks packed, but yeah, it's still pretty small.
I would also say that the I guess the other big thing, well, say two more. One, I think it's good that it could be a potential dome stadium, especially in a place as cold as Chicago gets.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Let's just be honest, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are like, well, Green Bay. Well, Green Bay has this weird. They're very weird up there. Like, who cares?
Yeah, Green Bay is a bunch of freaks. No one
Um,
cares about them.
and then the other thing is that about being outside the city. So many teams do it. I don't see Niners fans going up in arms. It's all the way in Santa Clara. The
Yeah,
Cowboys playing Arlington, which isn't too far. It's kind of, I would guess, it's kind of like no name pun, intend Arlington Heights, where it's like
yeah. No. I got you.
the Giants and the Jets both play in East Rutherford, New Jersey, which is very close to like New York City. But
Mhm.
obviously it's in another state.
Yeah, it's just
Dolphins don't play in Miami, I believe, right? Like I think they play like about a half hour out or so, maybe less.
I'm not sure how far Hard Rock
It's in the
is.
vicinity, but it's not like the heart of the city.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, I think so.
That's the thing,
I'm
though.
not sure.
It's not playing in the city itself isn't a problem for the NFL because the NFL is always going to draw. People are going to love their teams no matter what.
It's really just the name. Like you're not going to change into the Arlington Heights Bears because that's just such a drop off from the Chicago Bears. Like anytime you put the name Chicago on anything, like the market value of that is is exponent is like it's insane. So as long as they have that, they'll be fine. It's really not a concern to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't know, but so I think what you just said about the NFL will always draw no matter where they play. I mean, I don't think that's exactly like always true because I mean, look at situations like how Washington is right now, and just like how other teams. I think
I
there's
guess
another team
Washington's an
that has-
exception, but Washington was also like that was like a quite clear, ridiculously stupid one.
yeah, I guess that's who's another team. I don't think I can. I know the Bills playing Orchard Park, but they're all right. They're fine.
Yeah, the Bills.
Except for the
So
fact they're trying to move to Arlington or Austin.
that's probably a leverage move, to be honest. I don't think Jerry Jones wants another team in Texas, but
He's gonna be the first one to veto that. Of course he won't.
um, I guess it's kind of we discussed this. I guess it's time to actually get into the games. First game of the week, Thursday Night Football. Not much to say there. The Panthers took care of the Texans relatively easily. Took some really bad
Sam Darnold's
injuries.
legit.
Took
He's
some really
legit.
bad
He's legit.
injuries though to J.C. Horn, who is a stud, as well as
Oh yeah.
Christian McCaffrey. Though McCaffrey's injury seems more minor, Horn's injury will likely sideline him for more than half the season, but he should be back towards the end, which would be big. And this move actually spurred on a bit of genius for the Panthers, trading virtually nothing to acquire C.J. Henderson from the Jags, guy who's only a couple years
Oh yeah.
removed from being a 9th overall pick. What an idiotic display of asset
Well, okay.
management by Jacksonville.
Jags were cornered. Jags were cornered into that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the situation unfolded probably as well as
It
you
was
would,
because
Salt.
Urban Meyer
But
hated
they
him.
were. Yeah, no, they were they were definitely cornered into that, like, at this point. So that deal for them, I mean, it's kind of just like what you're forced to get out of them
Well,
at
I
this
would
point.
agree, but the current regime forced his value to be that low.
No, I was
So
gonna say, I was gonna say, you kind of force yourself into this situation.
I'm
So it's
a
not like it was inevitable, but I mean, it hurts.
come on.
I mean, I love what the Panthers could do with him. Like him and Jay, like just imagining him and J.C. Horn, like later this year, next year or so. Oh, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I would say the big thing that I look at with that, well, obviously, to me, okay, so for me, the big thing with that is a really good move. I'm just saying, like, man, how do you do that? Like, the Dolphins drove Minkah Fitzpatrick's value down like crazy, and he was a lower selection than Henderson was, and yet he still
Yeah.
got a first back. It's just crazy to me. And they got a
I don't
first
think,
back
yeah,
from a Steelers team that I think 3 weeks into the season was winless too. That was even
it could
crazier.
it could just be like his general value because like he still struggled his first 2 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could just be like how teams perceive. Like I'm not saying that going off of that purely is that his like value is lower than Minka's at the time they were traded, respectively, of course. But like there could be something that teams see there that that would favor Minka more. Because I mean everyone liked Minka when he got traded. I'm not sure anyone dislikes Henderson. I'm just saying that like it's
Yeah.
possible other teams see it differently.
But I guess, going back to the game between the two,
Yeah.
I would say that the Panthers won, but at what cost? That's going to be seen. I don't think McCaffrey will be in for the Cowboys game next week, so Darnold's going to have a
Yeah, no,
lot.
he's gonna be out. He's gonna be out for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
I guess the next game, though, kind of talking about the Jaguars, that was a crazy one.
Yeah, that field goal return. Wait, is
Yeah,
that what you were gonna call it?
Yeah,
That
that was
was
the
insane.
second best play from the week.
that was
I
a
thought it was
Yeah,
going to be the first
that was
play.
something else.
that was a crazy kick six, man. Holy shit.
Kick six.
Um,
I love that name. Never gonna get old.
Sadly, though, even though the Jaguars had a lot of positive momentum going in the second half, they were stupid. They still can't protect Trevor Lawrence. So much so that on a play action, well, no, it wasn't a play action. It was a
Flea flicker.
flea flicker. Yes, a flea flicker, a play that should at least get some level of deception to keep the defenders away from Lawrence. The protection was so bad that he had to immediately go off his back foot and then threw a pick six. And pretty
Oh my
bad play
god.
by Trevor, but The protection is
Yeah, but like, look
awful.
what he's forced into. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh my
It's
god.
either that or take the sack.
I feel bad for him and any other team, and I feel like he would at least produce like good results. It's kind of unfortunate.
No doubt.
But Kyler was solid again. He had a pretty good game. No touchdowns to show for it, but he definitely deserved it. Quality. Very unconventional weapons showing up for the Cardinals. It was AJ Green and Christian Kirk's show today, and rather than
Kirk,
DeAndre
yeah, Kirk
Hopkins
did
and
really well.
Rondale Moore had very solid nights. I mean, not solid. Excuse me, quiet nights. For the Jags, another ugly one. You got to feel for Trevor. James Robinson, only 15 carries for 88 yards. You'd think with how efficient he's been, and even Carlos Hyde, it would have been. They got both averaged 5.5. Hyde averaged 5.5 yards a carry. Robinson 5.9 yards a carry. You'd think they'd run the ball more, but doesn't seem so.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Urban Meyer situation isn't working out in the slightest.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anyone's not saying "I told you so" here. Sorry for the double negative, but I'm pretty sure everyone's saying "I told you so."
Yeah.
I had no faith in it to begin with, and like he'll probably
Yeah, Link was on that.
So,
But I mean, it was just a weird move. It was a weird, like, it was. I don't know. I'm not sure what they saw in him at this point, but yeah, there's it's just basically Trevor trying to save his own life, and again going against Kyler Murray, who's trying to make an MVP bid, which
Yeah.
probably got a bit hurt by this game, but he still did so well that honestly I don't know if anyone really cares.
Yeah. I guess in other news, kind of going to the next
Mhm.
game, Steven, I'll kind of let you
Oh boy,
mourn.
was not a fun game. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen funner games in my day. I've seen the double doink, but I have not seen a game like this. This game made me miss Andy Dalton, man. First time, marking your calendars. First time missing Andy Dalton week 3. Very soon, obviously. Wide receiver core silent as hell. Still, Allen Robinson is just begging to lose $80 million this offseason. And Darnell Mooney and Darnell Mooney's getting victimized by this system, by this bald loser Matt Nagy, who lost the visor, by the way. That's how done he is. He's lost the visor. Like that was a signature. Not anymore. That's just the true death of Matt Nagy. So he's just gonna be a walking corpse until he gets fired at this point, honestly.
yeah, who do you think?
Like his play calling was so bad. Like there were even ignoring the running on 2nd and 20, even ignoring that. Like there's so many plays that were so predictable. I mean, Garrett himself. By the way, Cleveland got 9 sacks on Fields. Fields, I mean, he still had some good time to get the plays down, but again, his protection, just them knowing the plays and everything. It's a very easy system to predict. And then the Bears, how the hell is the Bears secondary, which basically only has Jalen Johnson doing anything on it right now, going to stop Baker Mayfield and Peoples Jones and all that, and Odell finally waking up a little bit. And Kareem Hunt having 150 yards or something. Or not even, he had 170. I don't even remember he went off to. But it was just the worst possible game you can imagine for the Bears. I guess their D line did all right. 5 sacks. They came through. That was nice. But Justin Fields got clobbered there. He might not play this week. I think he will, but he was sidelined for a little bit with a hand issue.
Yeah.
And yeah, Bears just really need to get something. Really need to get something together because I mean Nagy wasn't he wasn't an apologist. He wasn't taking responsibility. But honestly, at this point, I'm not sure anyone's caring. They after a loss like that, they're demanding the head.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I read correctly, this was the second worst offensive production of the 21st century.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I saw that, but I honestly don't remember. All that just kind of ran through my mind. I was just disappointed, but not surprised. That was my reaction to just everything.
I guess you're talking on the Bears side, but I do want to kind of shout out a couple of players on the a few players on the Browns side. Um, Odell came back, had 77 yards off 5 receptions, really good. Myles Garrett had a Defensive Player of the Year statement type of game.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Um,
Their entire D line was fantastic, but he was, he's obviously the ringleader.
that's Greg Newsome looked really good. So did Jadeveon Clowney having a big bounce back game, and then Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah having that breakout game. Just a very dominant performance by the Browns all around. So I just want to shout those guys out. But time to move away from your pain, and we could talk about Link's pleasure. The Titans game.
It was. I'll show you. It was a pleasure anyway. Got the win. We beat the Colts at home. I'm pretty sure this is the third time since 2012 that we beat the Colts at home. Carson Wentz was he was in the game, but I mean, he was all right. Nothing super special. Nothing too bad. What really helped the Titans today in that win was really getting it done on, especially getting the defense did a really good job in when the Colts entered territory. There was a lot of drives that should have been really touchdowns, and they were just held for a field goal. Very good by them. The offense, Derrick Henry had another. He didn't have as good of a day as he did in Seattle. Tannehill, he made mistakes. One of them, I can't say the interception was his fault, but the other one, he kind of just threw it behind the receiver. There's a couple just instances of where the ball should have been picked off. He did have 3 touchdowns, but other than that, it was not really his best work all season. I can't really comment as much as I want to on this game because, I didn't see any absolute huge mistakes by the Titans. It was just kind of that game where we're super competitive against Indianapolis. And, let me just say, Indianapolis, I'd say they're still, out of all the teams who don't have a win this year, they're still probably the best one and the one that's destined to have a win this so far or in the upcoming games. So
yeah, they've played some tough competition.
Yeah,
and they're not, and they've been competitive too.
They kept it closer with the Rams than the Buccaneers did, which we'll get to later. But
exactly. So I'm glad we won. We are now the sole division leaders, which we should have been at week 1. But yeah. So that was really the Titans game for Indianapolis.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention.
Well said.
I forgot to say big injury on the offensive side.
Oh yeah.
AJ Brown. Not sure. I think he's day to day so far, but yeah, that kind of hurt me. Kind of sucks. He's questionable against the Jets, which even if he were out, I'd still think we would have no issue taking out the Jets. But kind of stinks. Kind of hurts me in fantasy, but
at least it's short term, and it's another moment where you could be thankful for Julio Jones.
Didn't Quentin Nelson get injured too?
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was tough. Yeah, a big blow to that team for sure.
All right. I guess now the Bills took care of the Washington football team. We'll go through this one kind of quickly. Josh Allen, first 300-yard game with fans in the stands in his career.
Good for him.
The empty stadium merchant narrative is dead, which was kind of a joke for a couple weeks. Taylor Heineke was shaky. So was the entire football team offense, if we're being honest. McLaurin and Gibson did have good games, though. But the Bills kind of ran away with this. They dominated early, but Washington did storm back to come within a score at 21-14. But from there on out, it was all Bills. Josh Allen with a dominant game. Solid rushing effort there. Not great, but solid. Cole Beasley was the leader in receiving yards. Emmanuel Sanders, though, got a couple touchdown receptions. Diggs has not been the focal point of the receiving group, not in the tactical way, but just in the production way in this game. But that's fine because he still had a solid game, and he's obviously going to be a big help in getting those other guys open. So his value is obviously going to be understated by said production. Um, However, Gregory Rousseau, I think this is the first game he didn't really get a sack, but he was still good, and he's had a really hot start to his rookie year. Matt Milano has been really good as well, key part of that Bills defense. Um, Overall, though, I gotta say, quality win for Buffalo. Ugly loss for Washington. Who you gotta wonder if their defense is really all that we thought it would be, because from what I could tell, it struggles against quality quarterbacks, which they didn't have a lot of to play against last season. And even when they did play him last season, like Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady, they got murked.
Yeah, I mean the front. I think the front's as advertised. I mean Chase is kind of off to a bit of a slow start, but he'll get to it. Him and Montez on the edge is still great. Their
Montez,
interior is still good.
Montez in the interior have looked good to start. Yeah, it's
Yeah, but it's mostly just I think it's the secondary, but the linebacker core has just been like hilariously mediocre.
Yeah. Obviously,
Like there's nothing special there.
rookie linebackers a lot harder than people give it credit for. So Jamin Davis will need time. Uh, I think they
Yeah,
might still be struggling with safety utilization. Obviously, Landon Collins is more of a box guy. You probably want to give Cameron Crowe more and more snaps and coverage, but we'll see how that goes. As for the next game, the Saints took care of New England in New England. The Saints defense once again showing up big. You could really see that impact that Lattimore has on that defense. Saints defense being healthy once again. New England struggled to really get anything going on offense. I guess this is just a game of, well, that happened. Patriots,
I think this was an upset too for all of our
I
predictions.
think it was an
Like
upset
a
of
ton
our
of plays made that.
predictions, but it wasn't like, oh my god, what an upset. More like, oh, I mean, we saw this coming, but we just bet against it because we saw
I
some
don't know.
usage.
I didn't see Mac doing this poorly. I'm gonna be honest. I
I
mean,
didn't
I
see
know
him doing
Lattimore's
this
fantastic,
badly,
but still,
but
like the Saints were just in control the entire game.
yeah, I'd say so too. It wasn't that I thought that the Patriots do this bad. I thought this was a close game to begin with. So the shocker is that the Patriots, I guess whatever the spread was, didn't cover, rather than the fact that they lost.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I got it.
but I guess the real for another game, I think we all kind of. I'm not sure if we all picked the Giants here, but the Falcons came out with a win in New York. Both teams desperate for a win. The Falcons looked really sluggish. The Giants had a really painfully close loss to Washington, and Jesus Christ, how bad does Jason Garrett have to be to have a quarterback as solid as Daniel Jones and only put up 14 on the Falcons defense?
Yeah, I can't believe he got another job, dude. Like it's so funny, dude. I mean, that guy, dude, he got cooked by Matt Nagy and Mitch Trubisky. All right, when he was on the Cowboys and had Dak Prescott. Like I'm not exactly sure how the hell he's still in charge of making plays and stuff, or at least consulting. At least a consultant. Oh, fuck. At least consulting judge. But like, yeah, no, you gotta wonder what's going on right now because because Galladay has he's been good, but he hasn't been getting a lot of snaps. Tony's been still radio silent, and Sterling Shepard's hurt now, which sucks. I don't know. I think he's questionable right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Um, but he's been off to a hot start too. But I don't know. They're just so limited. They're just really limited right now, and it's just the defense. I mean, defense is struggling, line is struggling. There's just a lot of issues right now that need to be resolved for the Giants. And I did not expect. I was hoping they'd be off to a good start. I'm still semi high on them. It's difficult, to kind of
Yeah,
gauge this, because I definitely say that they've been at least underperforming in my eyes.
and you have to wonder now. The pressure is on for them now that they're 0-3. Their schedule is extremely tough. The pressure is definitely on. There's before the season there are jobs on the line, but now with this bad start, there are really jobs on the line here.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Um, because you got to say you got there are things that have to be admitted here. Joe Judge is under a lot of pressure. Jason Garrett will probably only outlast Joe Judge if he's an interim head coach. Nothing further.
Hmm.
His long term security is on the line. Not of course. I'd assume he would be interim just because he's had been in the position before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Even if his qualifications are shaky with that record. Um,
yeah, yeah.
and then of course you have what's his face. Then you have Dave Gettleman. I'd have to imagine that he has a lot of pressure too if they're losing again this year. So
They'll give him. I think they'll give him a chance because this draft he's gonna like with the picks he's compiled. I think they'll give him a chance to run it to see it through. But I think it's on that. Yeah, on the field. The on the field coaching staff is just gonna. That's where it's gonna really get hurt.
yeah,
That's where. That's where you're gonna be losing
so
some guys.
I'd like to. There's gonna be a lot of pressure, and I think I don't think the Giants would necessarily do wrong if they rid themselves of those three. What I'd be more worried about is if Daniel Jones gets caught in the crossfire and gets sent somewhere else, because I feel like he's good enough to be a franchise quarterback with the way
I
he's
agree.
played.
I think he's continuing to prove himself. Yeah.
And obviously, the only worrying thing is like the Kenny Galladay targets, receptions, that.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it feels good.
um,
But yeah, we'll see.
I
But
guess.
thus far, not a great start.
But I guess with the Falcons, though, good win for them. I mean, they desperately needed one. Their defense was actually impressive in a game. That's something that's rare. Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts, though, you want to see more from him. Though people forget that rookie tight ends don't transition as quickly as receivers are as good as Kyle Pitts is. Um, but I guess we'll move on. We'll talk about a quick one. The Broncos discarded the Jets like really badly. Um, Nothing much to say. Yeah, that is me watching the Jets offense get blanked. Like,
I swear, man, like I don't know, these Jets, man, this Zach Wilson guy, I don't the line, it was
Poor Zach Wilson, dude, went from throwing no Mormons to to
I
throw
shouldn't
into wide receiver sixes.
anyway,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I mean, really, he's getting killed out there. No other way to say it. Every rookie QB is really struggling though. To be fair, so I don't want to like bully Zach Wilson on this, but like he's definitely not the exception. But he's definitely he's definitely in the norm. I'd say.
yeah. Link, you had something
anyway,
to say?
I'm really glad that Denver is actually playing someone this upcoming week.
Yeah, no, they gotta stop winning. Like that just should not be
All
allowed.
right, yeah, like, come
They
on.
haven't faced a team who's won a game so far.
My God, that's actually
They all
crazy.
faced 0-3 squads.
That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're actually playing Baltimore. It should be fun.
Yeah.
Um, I guess
Speaking of Baltimore, can we talk about
yes.
the
Actually, I was
the
gonna say we should.
history
Let's talk about that Baltimore game. Yeah, Link, I'll let you take it away.
the history that maybe shouldn't have happened? I'm not sure, but yeah, and another fun week for everyone watching the Lions and is a fan of the Lions. Imagine thinking you have this game in the bag against a perennial, potential Super Bowl contender like the Ravens. You're actually containing Lamar Jackson on the running yard and in running.
It
Right,
also
you
helps
got
that
everything.
Hollywood Brown was playing like trash.
Yeah, you got the game in the bag with 1:04 to go. You're up by a field goal, and then you lose by a Justin Tucker 66-yard field goal, the longest in NFL history.
Dude, I
That
was so salty. I was so salty with a minute left in that game. And I just looked like a minute later. I was like, there's no way the Ravens won this game.
However, I will say this: there was an officiating. I will say an officiating screw up, especially on the 2nd and 10 that set up the field goal because he just threw it out of bounds on that 2nd and 10 just to run out some more clock.
They've been
been a
pretty.
delay
Officials
game.
have been kind of lenient on those. I'm not gonna lie. They've been on the intentional groundings.
No, it's not that. There was a delay game.
Oh wait, really? Okay, my bad.
I don't know if I'm seeing like I don't know if it was just a fault of the ticker getting it was off by a second, but like it hit 0 and they still hadn't gotten the ball off yet, and then like a second later they finally snapped the ball. So I don't know. I have a feeling that it may have been just a ticker issue because it's not always 100%. People do mess up, but in that instance, like I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see the Ford Field ticker on the end zones. They did bring it up after the game, but there wasn't actually like footage of the game tick or the actual play clock on the field. So I don't know. Still very nice kick from Justin Tucker's. Probably submitted himself into the Hall of Fame after that. Very nice.
Yeah.
This guy should be a first round Hall of Famer. I guess that
was crazy too because like there was no wind. You're just like you got no wind helping you, nor like really,
and Matt Prater's home too. Feels like destiny.
Yeah, they do it against the Lions. So like if there's a potential if there's a potential thing to happen to make the Lions lose in just like heartbreaking fashion, yeah.
That's an NFL record field goal that happened to, I believe, hit the crossbar and then go in.
Yeah, it did.
Hey, it still counts.
Yep. It still counts, though, yeah.
I guess we can go to the next one. I'll transition just by, singing a song, bitch, Corvette. Because
he's injured.
The Steelers lost to the Bengals again.
Who called it? You did. Who called it?
You did.
Who did? Yep.
My God, it was.
Collecting my dues. Collecting my dues.
Were you right about those absences on that D line?
Yo, I don't care about no TJ Watt, man. All right, TJ Watt, I just am not caring. All right, because all that matters is that I checked off the Bengals instead of the Steelers. All right, I didn't check off no TJ Watt, no Bengals if TJ Watt gets injured. All right, I'm just checking off the Bengals. All right, that's my job.
All right, you know what? I respect that. God's hands. I respect that.
Yeah, that's in God's hands. but not yet. No,
you know what? Another really good game.
Steelers been really hurt.
Another really good game for Jamar Chase. He got a couple touchdowns. Really nice deep bomb from Joe Burrow as the half was going. My God, man, what is it with Joe Burrow? Like when he throws the ball deep to anyone else, man, it's like noodle, and then he throws it to Jamar Chase like this, like cannon. Like what the fuck?
Oh well, I don't know. I can't speak specifically on his deep balls to Jamar versus other receivers, but I'm telling you, man. Like he's like his game management is so pristine. Like he understands the mission. All right, plain and simple. Like even like in that Bears performance, I was telling you guys, like he threw the 3 picks on 3 straight passes. Like you can look at the box score and say he sucked, but he really played as to his strengths as well as he possibly could. And he just did it against the collapsing old Steelers. And it turned out that he actually got points instead of the Bears pulling out a dub out of their ass.
Yeah.
On week 2.
And speaking of the Steelers,
yeah, just how good he is.
Big Ben did not have a really good game. He got a lot of checkdowns out to Najee Harris, who made the best out of those receptions.
It was a really
the classic and mobile play. The classic and mobile clip.
Dude, Najee Harris, 14 receptions, 102 yards, man. This guy was taking checkdowns and like getting the best out of it.
Yeah, his rushing too. It's like so funny to look at those and then just look at his rushing.
Dude, that's just the Steelers' offensive line being shit.
Yeah,
Their whole run system has always been so bad though. Like they always just over rely on one dude. He gets cooked after 1 year, and it's just rinse, wash, repeat.
Yeah.
Every year.
You had
Like
some.
their line sucks, but I mean, still they do that every time. They do it so often, and it's like such an easy way to screw over running backs.
You had something to say, Link?
So I was about to say about Big Ben. There was that really bad looking throw where he just did
Oh
not.
yeah.
Like,
Oh my god, man, this guy needs to retire.
Yeah, but he's such a classy individual. He's a real locker room hero.
He should just suck up his pride and retired like 2 years ago. Like I don't know what the point was of him just like dying and then retiring.
He wants a paycheck.
Like I remember like in 2017 he was
dude, he's earned enough paychecks. All right, dude's been playing for like 20 years. Okay, he's earned enough paychecks. All right. Everyone's everyone's been waiting for the door to hit him on his way out for like at least 5 years at this point. All right, and now he finally sucks, and now people are just waiting, collecting their dues. All right, like it was just like his ego just needs to calm down.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Steelers continue to suck amidst, yes, some admitted injuries. Bengals continue to prove me right. My Bengals.
Yeah.
My upset pick, pull through.
I just gotta say though, dude, Najee would be rushing so much better on any other team. I mean, the Steelers might actually have the worst offensive line in the league.
No, if he was on like a team that knew how to run, that knew how to make a good run game, like he'd be so good right now. But dude, it was so obvious he was going to the Steelers. Like that was such an obvious pick, Najee to them. Like that was, dude, that was like more predictable than like Lawrence to the Jags. All right, that was like such an obvious because they were just going to use him to hell.
Yeah.
Because they just have no idea how to incorporate a run game. And they just look at him and bam, and they're like, "Yo, this is the guy right here."
All right.
Even at the end of the Jags, they probably are going to use it better.
Continuing on, I guess the Vikings beat the Seahawks at home. I wasn't watching, so I don't have much to say. I mean, Russ was.
I wasn't watching either. I was too ashamed to watch because yeah, I got kind of exposed there.
Even without Dalvin Cook, they ran the ball well. Jefferson had a Jefferson game. Kirk had good stats. Russ had solid stats. Carson, say so too. DK did well.
I mean, Seahawks are still kind of they're getting there. Just taking a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Settling in the classic Russ starting the season look.
The classic Russell Wilson inconsistency, so I don't have much to say there. If you have anything to say about that link, you can. If not, we'll move on.
No.
All right.
No, I don't.
The Dolphins and the Raiders went to overtime in a pretty good game. Derek Carr is looking really good. Kenyon Drake fantasy owners should probably drop him because they like giving Peyton Barber more carries. Brian Edwards and Henry Ruggs were really good. On the Dolphins side, Brissett had a good game for the situation he has stepped into. Got the ball more like a Gesicki than Tua ever has all year. Jalen Waddle, pretty good game. Game went to overtime. Couple field goals back and forth. But the Raiders ended up winning with one of their own. I think the stupid thing is that the Dolphins let them back in with a fucking screen pass at their own one. With like no protection, giving the Raiders a safety.
Oh yeah, that was some bull.
But I guess for now, I guess we'll go with the final 3 games that we'll give some time here. The Rams came out with a statement win against Tampa Bay.
All right, so you're right. All right, I respect it. All right, you were right. I'll concede. Okay.
Home field. You gotta trust the McVay process.
All right, man. I'll you know what? So power to you, man. Power to you.
All right, so
but yeah, no Bucks. This is a surprise. Like I was so disappointed. I was really hoping this would be like 40-40 down to the wire, like some shit like that. But nah, the Rams were in control the entire game. Like the Bucks didn't stop scoring, but the Rams also didn't stop scoring after they got a 10-point lead for
Man,
basically three
we got to
quarters.
talk about how Deshawn Jackson absolutely cooked one of his former teams, man. Holy shit, what a vintage performance. Like, I low-key,
Man,
Deshawn Jackson's
nice game
worth a
half of
fantasy
those.
investment.
I don't think he's worth one this year, but
No, like,
maybe
as a
maybe on the
waiver pickup,
bench.
as a waiver pickup.
Yeah. Maybe like that, sure. But man, I've seen Deshaun Jackson. It feels like I always see him like once a year, just cook someone. It's just always nice to see. It's a nice reminder of what once was, you know.
Yeah, that was a really fucking good game, though. I mean, Cooper Kupp
But the
was
Bucks responded.
cooking too. This was a close game early. First half was
Mhm.
very close and tight. But the big difference was, of course, the second half when the Rams absolutely dominated. Tom Brady did his best to keep them into the game as much as he could, but once the Rams pulled away, they really pulled away. That offense wasn't being stopped.
No, Stafford's still going at it.
Stafford's been cooking
And
early.
their wide receivers are good.
Stafford has been cooking early. I mean, that receiver group has looked really good. I mean, I guess, there's not much to be said. Once the Rams offense got going, it wasn't being stopped. The Bucks could only just watch. And in the defense of
In
the
horror.
Bucks, their secondary is really injured. They actually just signed Richard Sherman to.
Yeah, I was gonna say they responded by getting Sherman. Well, I mean, I think he's still gonna be productive this year. He's definitely probably not gonna be as good as he was when the Niners went to the Super Bowl, but
Yeah, so that will be really
he'll
interesting
be
to see.
he'll be a good weapon there for with them, like alongside Dean and yeah.
That'll be interesting to see. Luke, if you have anything about the game.
Yeah, I'm so glad I decided to bench Jackson in fantasy, knowing that he would have a 30-point game. Unfortunate.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Poor guy.
I think the game was about over as soon as there was that really bad. It was I forget when in the game it was. If y'all remember, y'all can remind me. But it was the Bucks drive that went 4th and 20, and then they shanked the punt to for the Rams to start it on their own 40 or on the Bucks 40-ish yard line, and then they immediately score after the safety fell over.
Yeah.
And just died. Yeah. After that, I was like, that's not very good.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Big statement for the Rams, who, if I had to do power rankings right now, I mean, who else but them to be put on top of the league for now? But moving on to Sunday night, we had an absolute crazy game.
Hold on. Is that all?
Yeah, that is everything from
Did
the
we talk
Beaches.
about the Mafraud, Patrick Mafraud losing at home
We
against
didn't.
the
We forgot. Yeah,
How did we skip one of the other big statement win of the
Yeah.
That hurt because I obviously I'm never going against the Chiefs, but I'm also a big Chargers truther. So it was nice seeing Herbert clutch up.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
Herbert is the guy.
Lots of some crazy mistakes on both teams. In the end, it was Patrick Mahomes' mistake that cost them an interception. Chargers drove, and I love the 4th and 9 call there. Go for it. Go for the win. You're against Mahomes. You need to go for the win. They got it.
Yeah.
And they took that in for a touchdown, and the defense held them out. I gotta say, man, even before that, overall impressive win for the Chargers. Herbert had a great game. I mean, they were dominant early. Mike Williams looking really good.
Dude, I was good. Mike Williams is just he just started off hot, just has not slowed down. Like he is insane.
This is why he was a top 10 pick.
Yep.
Even if
he was never bad.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing the vision right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chiefs fall to 1-2, and they're so distraught that they just told, hey, Josh Gordon, hey, come join our team.
Yeah.
I just hope that guy's happy.
Tyreek Hill is still looking for yards.
Yeah, he was able to get almost. He got over 55 this time, but he.
Congratulations.
I'm
That's
pretty
not a
sure
game
he
that
had
you
a.
want if you're Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he had a fumble too. Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
this wasn't the prettiest of games for sure, but it was certainly worth a good watch. Austin Eckler was pretty good as an all-purpose player, over 100 yards total in combined rushing and
Hmm.
receiving. But I guess really more the consequences. It's fair to say that the Chargers are, amongst the best in the NFL this season. Brandon Stanley's doing a good job.
Yeah, I'd say
This is a big
they're
statement.
really nice overall. I mean, their defense is still I mean, it still needs some work, but like their offense is really good. As long as they got that going for them, they'll be all right.
Speaking of the defense, Asante Samuel Jr. has continued to play well. So is Derwin James.
No, their secondary's been really good. It's just the front that's kind of been
Yeah, Joey
outside of both.
Bosa. He
It's
had
nothing.
half a sack today. You maybe like more, a little more, but he probably got some good pressure. I wasn't able to watch the whole way, but
I mean, Bosa still is the strong point of that line, but outside him, it's just really lacking.
yeah, exactly. Now Bosa still did strong. Obviously, it wasn't like a classic Bosa game though, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, good
Um.
enough, I suppose.
All
But
right,
I
now
got
we can move on to the
yeah. Now
Sunday
we can go
night
to
game.
Sunday night game. All right. The
Let's
Packers
go.
were looking at a routine victory early on, but things really changed as the Niners drove down the field and got a touchdown with ball back at the death of the second of the first half. Um, they really stormed back in. Pretty close one in the end, but there was one mistake that they did, and it's that they gave Aaron Rodgers too much time, man. When they got that touchdown, I was like, I wasn't happy. I was like, fuck, you should have stopped, ran some clock out, gone for another touchdown. You had all three timeouts, I believe, at that point. So,
That was the thing that set you off about the Niners losing. I honestly thought it was I thought it was going to be the drive before where Garoppolo makes probably one of the worst plays I've ever seen.
oh yeah,
Where he was
obviously, you don't tell a player to not get a touchdown. That's stupid, but like, yeah, but like, still, that was just like the moment. I was like, oh, I mean, obviously, the thing that really cost the Niners was that their offense was inept in the first half. It didn't get anything going. If had the
Oh
offense
yeah.
even got a sliver of points prior to that point, prior to that 2 minute drill they kind of had at the end of the first half, maybe we could be talking about them winning. Um, the game was fairly controversial. The Niners did benefit from some really questionable officiating calls. Like I definitely think that there should have been something on that Devonte Adams hit. Eric Stokes got called for an interference, I believe, that really shouldn't have been called. But the Packers are usually the ones on the good end of these kind of calls, so it's different to see them not. But the man of the hour was Aaron Rodgers, who, with 37 seconds left, took the Packers down the field to get the winning field goal by Mason Crosby.
Mhm. That's some good passes, Roger. Some really good ones. I got a touchdown pass to MVS.
Yeah.
That was a beaut.
Let me be honest, man. That last drive gave me some really bad memories.
Yeah, I understand.
I can't keep watching Aaron Rodgers do this to teams, man. It hurts. It gives me too many memories that I want to bury.
I'm just excited to get his ass out of my division.
Only one more season, man. Can he go to the AFC?
That'd be so nice.
no. Anyway, yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo had. I mean, he was all right. Actually, I don't know. He had 2 turnovers that looked really bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
that fumble
interception to
was
Jair.
like I
Oh,
said, that fumble literally just killed the game for them right there.
yeah, exactly. If they were able to go in without that fumble, that would have been so much better.
It like he the I forgot who was about to sack him, but he only got like about one arm on him, and he just scaredly tried to throw the ball behind him.
Yeah. Nick
Pick up
Bosa,
that.
we were talking about Joey. Nick Bosa had a solid game. He got held quite a bit, which is why he didn't really register on the score sheet. This was the George Kittle breakout of the season game. I mean, obviously he's already been established as a star, but this is when he finally had a dominant game. Brandon Ayuk finally got some looks. I mean, I just got to say, this was a very crazy one.
Oh yeah. Don't give Aaron Rodgers time. That's the moral. And I think I'm surprised that San Francisco did not learn this because this has been tried and true for like
Don't say it.
The last like 4 years. Like, it's just is like a normal occurrence for every year. And it just keeps happening. Adds on to that nice legacy of him being very clutch. Look at these great
bad man.
These game-winning drives.
He is the bad man.
Speaking of one of his more memorable drives, let's talk about the game that happened in AT&T Stadium.
Man, why did you have to transition it like that, man? I wanted to be happy talking about the game.
You can. There's nothing stopping you from talking about the Cowboys beating the Eagles pretty convincingly.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. All right, let's start. We had a really good drive early. Ball down the field to CeeDee Lamb. That was the Eagles were afraid to let us go down the field for the rest of the game, so they played two eye safeties. What did we do for the rest of the game? Just run the ball down their throats, and they couldn't stop it. Ezekiel Elliott, really good game. Tony Pollard, really good game. On the receiving end, the targets were really shared. No one player really dominated them, though Dalton Schultz did have a really good game. Dak Prescott was solid, but obviously did not throw the ball much. But when he did throw the ball, it was great. But I think the big story of the game for the Cowboys was the defense. Gave up a total of 14 points on the defensive end. The Eagles had a defensive touchdown. The big one for the big stories for our defense was just absolutely how good players like Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs were. Parsons was great. Also, Osa Oigizua on the defensive interior. Really good game. The front 7-8 for sure. Made Jalen Smith's heart. Not Jalen. No, I mean. No, Jalen. Well, I was. What? Okay. Jalen Hurts' life difficult. Devontae Smith was absolute. I'm not having. Jesus. Made Devontae Smith's life miserable. Trayvon Diggs was great. Cemented a classic game for him with a pick six that looked a lot like his brother's touchdown reception against the Saints. I mean, my immediate reaction when that play happened, and I just yelled it, was Diggs sideline touchdown, unbelievable. Oh my god! And we need to just talk about how atrocious Jalen Hurts was in the game because this unit made him look silly. And on that play, Devontae Smith slips, and Jalen Hurts is so locked in to that first read that he still throws the ball at him. And Diggs, a guy that's played against him in college, in practices, so he knows his tendencies well, is just going to go in there, pick it off, take that to the house easily. I think it needs to be said here, because I don't think Eagles fans are very comfortable admitting it, but it needs to be said. This Jalen Hurts, at the rate he's going at, is not going to be their quarterback after April. They're going to draft someone new. If he turns it around, plays better, okay, yeah. But the rate we're going at, the 2 times that he's seen quality defenses, he hasn't looked that good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure they expected too much out of him, but I don't know. I think he's still being carried by that Falcons performance, but still,
Yeah.
he's been better than I thought he'd be. I'll give him that.
Speaking of quality defense, who would have thought that the Cowboys would have been packing a quality defense so far this year? They've had two really tough opponents, plus the Eagles' offense, which, they've given up somewhere around 20 points a game on the defensive side of the ball, and just to say with that, I mean, that is a really good step up from where it was last year. When Dak was healthy, they were giving up they had games where they giving up 35 points. They 40 almost 40 and then like 50 points. It's
And this is with DeMarcus Lawrence injured.
This is with DeMarcus Lawrence injured too. Yeah. And Parsons has played amazing at the edge. I mean,
Yeah, like you wouldn't notice anyway with how Parsons is playing. Yeah.
Osa's been great. Trayvon Diggs amazing. DeMont Kazee looked good. Jaron Kearse, Malik Hooker. I mean, struggle against the Chargers. Obviously, didn't have a lot of. He didn't really have a proper camp. Looked a lot better today. Smith and Van Der Esch have looked better. I mean, this defense looks like a whole new unit under Dan Quinn. So I got to give him big props, man. Maybe had the head coach role wasn't his thing. As a defensive coordinator, he's definitely one of the best in the business.
Yeah.
And I'd love to talk more about how, the offense did, but the defense was the star of the show in Dallas. It was so impressive. We didn't let the Eagles move the ball at all in the first half. And by the time they got it, they had one good drive in the second, but once they got the ball moving at the very end of the game, it was over. Dallas had put the nail in the coffin, soft zone coverage, that garbage time stuff that quarterbacks tend to eat up. So great, great win, great team performance, absolutely crushing the Eagles. It's good to know that we're taking care of business when business needs to be taken care of, and not letting teams come close to us. But I guess that's it for the week review. We can, I guess, talk about the
Yeah.
previews. We'll go get quicker with them this time around because we'll
Want to
have,
get into baseball? Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So looking at week 4, Jaguars at Bengals. Bengals.
Bengals.
Wait, this is a game?
Yeah, Jaguars at Bengals Thursday night.
Oh, okay, that's fitting. Yeah.
All right. We all agree that the Titans are beating the Jets, correct?
Yep.
No doubt about that one, buddy.
All right.
All right,
Lions
like
at
no need
Lions
to do like that.
Lions at Bears. Who are we taking? I'm taking the Bears.
Lions. Hell no, dude. He's kidding. This is the year, man. This is the year the Lions turn it around against us.
This is the year. This is the one that will get. Hold on. When the this is okay. I was about to say.
No,
I thought
I'm
the
like
Lions
totally expecting this to get cooked by Jared Goff.
Yeah. And what
If they kept a serious game going against the Baltimore Ravens, then they're gonna like literally obliterate us.
Yeah, they should have won the game against Baltimore. Like, there's no doubt about that. Literally, a NFL record happened to make them lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, give me the Lions.
All
And this
right.
will, I can see #FireNaggy trending on Twitter after that game. Anyway,
Yeah, again.
again.
Colts at Dolphins. That's a tricky one.
I had Colts marked down for this one, just because I don't know Jacoby. I still don't trust Jacoby as much. Of just the Chiefs. No, not the Chiefs. But the Colts, I think, are the safer pick. But the Colts do have Quinn. Like Quinn's still questionable. So I don't know. This is a really tough one.
I might be very
I'm gonna go
inconsistent.
Colts. They're in line for a dub. They're in line for a dub. I'm going to the Colts.
I might be very inconsistent with who I pick to win across. When I post my picks on Twitter, say it here, and then put them in a pick'em pool. But it could be Colts, Dolphins, Colts, Dolphins, Dolphins, Colts, whatnot. But I'm gonna pick the Colts. I'll take Indy.
I think the Colts will finally get that first win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Browns at Vikings. I mean, this could be an interesting one because I feel like the Browns outmatched them, but Stefanski and Zimmer know each other, and that could make the Vikings a good spoiler pick. But I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Yeah, I'll go with the Browns as well.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun.
One of
game
these days,
for
I'm gonna
me.
go with the Vikings though.
And this is gonna be a fun game on the running ground. Or the fun on the rushing game. You got Chubb versus
Mhm.
Cook. Receiving. Jefferson and Kareem Hunt are the top receivers both. It's gonna be very fun. Probably won't be able to watch it because Titans game. Unfortunate, but yeah, give me the Browns.
All right. Washington at Atlanta. Give me Washington here.
Yep,
Yeah, Washington.
All right.
my football team.
Texans at Bills. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god, the squeak.
You said Bills, right, Link? I might have cut.
Now, Link's go with the Titans on this one. I'm Texans on this one. He's a big Texans upset guy.
Texans win. Jesus Christ.
No. What's up next? We don't need to run this that dry.
All right. Yeah.
What is next?
Oh, you said? Did you say Bills or?
I guarantee you, I said the Bills.
Okay, I just for some reason couldn't hear. Saints hosting the Giants. Give me the Saints, but give me New York making this closer than people think they will.
I agree.
This is the first game back in the Super Bowl, the Superdome. The Saints will win.
All right. Chiefs at Eagles. Give me Kansas City.
Give me Kansas City as well, actually, on that one.
Yeah, Chiefs will win, and yeah.
Panthers at Cowboys. Give me Dallas.
You said McCaffrey's out for this.
Yes, McCaffrey is out.
Ooh.
Yeah, Panthers are suffering. I think this could have been a really close one, a really fun one, but yeah, Horn's out. McCaffrey's out. They're hurting. Yeah.
Yeah, give me Dallas.
I'm going them boys. Yeah.
All right. Seahawks going to the Niners. In a pick and pull, I picked the Niners. I picked the Seahawks because so many people are picking the Niners. Like, I have a better chance of winning if I just go Seahawks and they end up winning. But I'm gonna go Niners for the sake of my actual thoughts on who's gonna win. I think the Niners
Yeah.
will take it.
Likewise.
I think it's gonna be the Seahawks winning.
To me, the Seahawks and Niners are like home field advantage. I'll take them. Speaking of which, another NFC West bout, the Rams hosting the Cardinals. Someone's going to lose. Someone's going to take their first L, or maybe we can get a tie. Who are you taking here? I'm going the Rams.
Likewise, Rams are unstoppable.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'd say it's weird because the quarterback matchup, Kyler Murray, and he's been very good. I mean, he's really stepped up. But Stafford, I mean, he's only thrown one pick all year.
Yeah.
But I think the Rams defense is more impressive so far.
Yeah, I agree. Steelers at Packers. Are we doubting Green Bay here?
Nope.
Yeah.
Untangle my Steelers collapse arc.
Yeah. I'll take the Packers. Ravens at...
Wait, Ben Roethlisberger's listed as questionable.
Yeah, I don't care. If Roethlisberger was playing, it'd make you pick the Packers more.
This is true.
That's fair because I'm picking the Packers no matter what.
Yes. The Broncos host the Ravens. I'm going to take the Ravens
here.
Yeah.
Broncos are finally going to lose.
Tom Brady returns to his old stomping grounds on Sunday night. The Buccaneers at the Patriots. I'm taking Tampa.
Bucks. It's going to be a nice legacy game, though.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking that Tom Brady, he's, I think, 70-ish yards from breaking all-time passing yards.
Yep.
So.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so that's going to happen, and they're going to get the win on top of it.
Yeah. Raiders at Chargers. Once again, I'm going to go with the Chargers, but you can never, ever rule out the Raiders winning a game.
Yeah, the Raiders will be a great upset pick here, I'm going to be honest. But I'm going to go Chargers. I'm feeling safe for this week. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to get disappointed.
This is a matchup between the two teams who've most recently relocated and probably should be somewhere else rather than where they actually are.
That's true.
Football is so funny. I think it's
It is
going to be
indeed.
Oakland.
Raiders.
I think the Raiders are been very impressive, and I think that streak's going to continue. They're going to maybe them and the Rams may be the only 4-0 teams going into Week 5.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, that was it for the NFL. So I guess it's time to get into those playoff races. The American League wild card is the big one. Before we
Yeah,
recorded,
there's like 5 teams in it right now.
I'll let whichever one of you want to take over. But I'll say this: before we recorded, we all agreed that we want to see Seattle in there.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather see Toronto, but Seattle would be nice. It'd be fun.
I like both teams. I'd be overjoyed with either of them in the postseason, but Seattle, man, like that, I'd love to see that drought end. That's way too painful for any fan base to go through.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, if any of you want to take over the discussion on the wild card race, be my guest here.
Sure.
Wow, Steven,
Yeah,
you were right about Matt Kemp. Yeah, he just hit a home run.
The hell?
Yeah. He just hit a ding this last inning.
Oh, Tony. Oh no, Tony. Yeah, no, Tony's the guy, man. I'm telling you. Respect Tony. His play discipline is so chills. I don't even know how many home runs he has this year. Oh, he only 7. Okay, but no, he's that guy. Yeah. I mean, A's taking the lead over the Mariners right now. I mean, it's basically between every team in the AL East, not name the Rays and the Orioles, and Mariners and A's at this point. I want to say.
Yeah.
A's further behind, probably going to get eliminated soon. They may hang on today, but it's not going to last long.
The A's are winning right now.
Win out.
Yeah,
Never
but they're still 3 games back above the Mariners. So, Blue Jays beat the Yankees. I think before going in today, they were like a game and a half back or so. But that's back of the Red Sox, and the Red Sox won today, so still behind them. But it's so close. I would love to see the Blue Jays obviously make a spot. They're pitching. I mean, they've gotten really strong. Like, their team now is way better than that team we saw earlier in the season, and they really deserve a playoff spot for that. Like, this team right now is fantastic. And if not, they'll come back with a vengeance. Don't you worry. But Yankees taking a 1-game lead. I mean, I'm not sure anyone's that surprised. Yankees just got hot when they needed to. And it's a team that should have gotten hot earlier. So, not sure anyone's that surprised. But Boston's still good. It's just a lot of teams are hanging on. A lot of teams are trying to break the ceiling. It's really that huge race of who's going to snap first. And I'm not sure how the schedule's fair the rest of the way. But honestly, it'd be really something to see an upset. Really something to see like a 163 situation unfold or something like that. We'll have to see about that because those games are also extraordinarily fun.
Yeah, there's the whole chaos scenario. I don't think we can have the 5 team anymore, but there's like one where 4 teams wouldn't be as chaotic as 3 teams, being in a tie.
Yeah, that'd be wonky.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I don't even know how that unfolds. Yeah,
it's so many games that like your season is on the line for. That's like a scary thought, man.
I know it's exciting, but it is very, very intense.
Speaking of,
so we'll see how that goes. But
yeah, man.
You're saying so.
Dude, the fact that the Dodgers might be about to play in a wild card game, I don't want this.
Oh yeah, no, against the Cardinals. At least the Cardinals finally lost, but like Jesus, what a winning streak they had.
Jesus Christ, man, that scares the shit out of me.
I'm glad it's over.
Dude, you'll finally see my pain and having to face Paul Goldschmidt every day.
Dude, I've had enough playoff pain with the Cardinals of all teams being our.
Oh yeah, fucking Matt Adams.
I can't do this anymore.
On nightmares.
They single-handedly ruined the Reds' chance of making the wild card. I thought
Oh,
it was
thank
gonna be.
God. Finally
I thought,
exposed the stupid Reds.
but I don't know. The Reds were like a funny team going into this. Like the fact they were in a wild card spot, I think was, I don't know, at least for me, a little surprising. But yeah, no, well, that's no longer going to be a thing because of these St. Louis Cardinals and their stupid team. Sorry, I'm still. It's almost been 10 years, and I'm still mad about that.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's pretty
Cardinals got something
understandable.
going on.
The Devil
I
Magic
don't know
Man.
exactly. But it'll be like Max Scherzer. Dude, it's going to be so funny when it's like Max Scherzer versus like Adam Wainwright.
Dude, Max Scherzer. Dude, I already know how this game is gonna go. It's gonna be. Look, we're gonna we're gonna lose 1-0. Tyler O'Neill is gonna have a solo shot on Scherzer. Wainwright's gonna blank
Hell
us.
no, dude.
We're
No,
gonna
no.
load the
If
bases
it's
in the
one
eighth.
nothing,
We're gonna load the bases in the eighth and do nothing with it, and that's how we're gonna lose.
no, dude. If it's 1-0, it's gonna be some rando hit a home run. Something like Jose Rondon or something. Rondon, like the fifth inning or something's gonna go yard.
Man, I just this offense just goes so cold randomly. I just can't take watching a wild card game.
Yeah.
They'll handle their own. At least they'll be at Dodger Stadium in front of like 55,000 people.
You know what?
So
Can we
that's gonna
talk
be
about
nice.
the American League again? That scares me less. That sounds more fun.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go back to the American League. I
Um,
think the division races are pretty much matched up. I think the one thing to watch might be a home field advantage between the Rays and the Sox because they're not far behind each other in win percentage. And the Rays and the Astros are facing the no, not the I say Rays and the Sox, the Astros and the Sox,
yeah.
and the Astros are facing the Rays. And they lost today. And the White Sox got an easy schedule the rest of the way. Obviously, playing the Reds. I think they got a series against the Tigers next, since that's their last of the year. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. But it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds because I think it's basically guaranteed at this point that we're getting that Sox, Astros, ALDS, and then Rays wild card. At this
Yeah.
point, it's just kind of who's getting the home field advantage. And I'll be going to those games, those Sox, Astros games, wherever they're going to be played. It's going to be really exciting, but we'll see how it goes.
Rays once again have a very good team. Yeah, their ownership is still garbage. Did you hear about the news for what they're doing during the division round?
Dude, we got to talk about that like when it actually happens because we could have talked about that so many times because it's been circulated so much in the past like 2 years. It's been ridiculous.
Like almost confirmed because even at a time where they're they're the best team in the American League right now. About to maybe make another World Series run. They're about to display Montreal Rays outside the stadium. Like, Jesus Christ, how obnoxious do you have? I hate Rays ownership. They're a bunch of... you look at every other team right now in, like, Tampa. The Bulls, the Bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're seemingly cleaning it up. I mean, the Bucks were, like, at a 7-year just nosedive, and then now they just won a Super Bowl. Tampa Bay, I mean, they had a bit of... especially during the late 2000s, early 2010s, they clean up their act after that. They've won 2 Stanley Cups and made 3 Stanley Cup finals. And the Rays have been equally as successful without sure they haven't won the World Series, but they've been close and they've had very competitive teams. But yet they're
They're going to get there eventually.
But yet after all this, ownership being cheap and all that, everything holding this team back, they're still good. But guess what? They're looming. Players are just wondering if they're even going to be in Tropicana next year. Dumb.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a shit show.
Um,
But I mean, that's a conversation for this off season, I'd say. But it's definitely we're going to keep in the back of our minds. I'm glad you got the prelude to it now. Because it's going to be something else. But the Rays they'll probably steamroll through. They're still my pick to win the AL. I think teams will make it close, but at the end of the day, they're the Rays. They're prepared for every possible scenario. I think they'll come out with it.
I'm currently bracing for Houston winning it, but that's just how
I understand it. Yeah. I understand it because Houston's getting healthy now too, so
this has
they
been
have that up their sleeve.
this has been a crazy year. I mean, the AL overall is looking like really nice. I mean, it's
Hmm.
kind of a shame that like there isn't another. I mean, team in the AL that could make it. Because I mean, teams like the Mariners. I mean, the Mariners they've won those one-run games. They come up clutch so many times. The Jays have been overall really dominant. I mean, a lot of respect to give to these teams. I mean, I think the Jays are the most deserving team to get a spot, but I think the Mariners are the one I'd root for. Um,
Yeah, Jays just got unfortunate circumstances. You know what happens.
yeah, I believe
Um,
they were second in
I
League
mean,
WRC plus, right?
yeah, exactly. They just been the team stats have been erupting. I think it's in the similar boat as the White Sox. White Sox obviously is stunted because they play in such a poor division that they have a lot of room for error. So even with a lot of their injuries, they've still been hanging on quite
Yeah.
well. Um,
Whereas
but
with
yeah,
the
they got
Jays,
hurt a
man,
lot.
losing Springer for as long as they have lost Springer is obviously just gonna.
Yeah, exactly. They lost Merriweather for like half the season. I mean, he was like their closer going into it. So it's just stuff like that. It comes back to bite you. But like I mean, both of them are gearing up now. Though obviously, the White Sox. I mean, Rodon went 5 innings with a run. Amidst questions of whether or not his health's going to affect his play in the playoffs, or if he's going to even be able to play. Which is nice. So they're coming back to
Yeah.
full strength. It's just the White Sox are guaranteed a spot. The Jays still structured behind, still in the mix. But again, it'd be disappointing,
Yeah.
but you'll have to live with it. And
But
Boston's still going to be fun to watch anyway. They have a really nice
by the
team.
way, update on the wild card and division races. The Padres are leading on the Dodgers, which is making me sad, and the Mariners have just taken the lead on the Athletics.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What's the
apparently,
Athletics elimination number? Let me check real quick.
apparently the Jared Kelenic just hit a double
It's one.
to put two in, so that's
Yeah,
absolutely
Oakland
big for
loses.
him.
I mean, and that's it. Yeah, this is their game. This could be the last game right here.
I'm actually
Wow.
curious who would be on the mound for. Let's go through each team. Who would you put on the mound in a wild card game of all the potential wild card teams?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, buzzing out the easy ones. Yankees, I'm going with Cole.
He had a rough
Red
start
Sox
today,
might be a bit of an unpopular pick. Yeah, no, obviously,
but
Cole's
you
the
still
obvious
want to
pick
you still want
in
to go
any
with Cole,
circumstance.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and then Red Sox might be a bit of an unpopular one. I think people will lean Sale, but I'm still going to lean Eovaldi. I think just
Yeah.
his general health this year. I think he's your rock. I think you got to go with him. And they have enough to kind of last that through, kind of like last out if he struggles or something like that. Which again, which I would don't think will happen, but just in case,
Honestly, though, I would trust Alex Cora to make the correct decision. I think he's that good of
Oh,
a
absolutely,
manager.
absolutely, absolutely. I think Sale would work too. I just think they'll go Eovaldi and then Sale. Probably if they win, they'd go him in game one against like the Rays or something. Um, for the Blue Jays, difficult, not really that difficult.
You
Going
gotta
with
go
Robbie
Robbie
Ray.
Ray.
Cy
Yeah,
Young, yeah, Cy Young contender. Ryu's been struggling this year, but Rios has been really good. But again, he's more of a game two guy. You're going with Robbie Ray.
yeah.
And then for the Mariners, difficult pick because the Mariners, no one really stands out in the rotation. You're kind of going on upside. So I'm kind of leaning Gilbert in this case. Marco Gonzalez, maybe that could be an interesting wild card game pick.
Yusei has
But
been cold in the second
I'd
half, so I don't know if
probably,
you go with him.
yeah, no, I'm not leaning you. Say I'm going. I'd probably go Gilbert.
Yeah, I think.
ERA's been struggling, but you gotta trust the stuff.
Yeah. I guess on the National League side, the Cardinals will probably go Wainwright. The it's looking more and more likely that it'll be the Dodgers, but in case it is the Giants, I think Logan Webb is the guy that you put on the mound. If it is what it likely
Yep.
is going to be, though, the Dodgers, I know people will want
Well, I'd
some.
probably go. I'd probably go Gossman. I'd probably go Gossman for the Giants.
I feel like if it was, um, I feel like if it okay, if the let's say we had a game 163 between the Dodgers and the Giants, I think I'd put Bueller and Gosman out on the 163. And then in the wild card game, I would put Scherzer or Logan Webb.
Okay, gotcha. All right, yeah, that makes sense. I get that. I understand that.
I don't think you go to acquire Max Scherzer just to not use him in the wild card game, considering how good he's pitched with us.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
outpitched Bueller
Including
ever
the
since
Rocket game.
becoming a Dodger. I
Mhm.
think even if Kershaw is Kershaw, you just don't pitch him over Scherzer.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
I think Scherzer's the guy here. You got to go with Max. But I guess that's. I mean, if there's anything more to say about baseball, we could speak or.
Yeah, no, we could probably. I mean, we could probably talk about the Brewers and the Braves. I don't want to overlook them. Link, I'll let you talk about the Braves if you want.
Yeah.
But the Brewers, Devin Williams out, punched a wall while inebriated. A classic, all-time classic story. But the guy's gonna have surgery on his pitching hand, so he's out for the rest of the season. That's gonna be a big blow to their bullpen. But they still have a good bullpen. They'll manage it. But again, it's tricky it's a tricky thing to navigate. Obviously they're gonna be playing the Braves, so they're gonna be won't be as bad. The Braves have been really hot lately. But still, it hurts. It hurts
Link,
for
what
sure.
are you kind of thinking here on the Braves side of things?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, we've been very hot, but I was honestly a little scared of, especially like going last week, or not last week, but about 2 weeks ago. For some reason the division wasn't wrapped up at that point. The Phillies are still mathematical. They're still mathematical for the NL East, but we just need one win these next 4 games, which that should happen. I mean, it's been a obviously we've had some pitfalls with injury, and a couple of imbeciles we have in our team going out and doing stupid things. Other than that, I can't say World Series like I was kind of thinking, or at least maybe thinking NLCS like we did last year, but because we're facing a very good not Dodgers, Brewers squad. But yeah, we are going to win the in baseball. Yippee! 3 cheers, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's shaped up to be a fun postseason. I think it could be a good matchup between them and the Brewers. Obviously, Braves had a really underrated deadline.
Man, I don't want to play
Got
a
some
wild
good
card
talent.
game. Man, my heart can't take this.
You'll have to pull through. You'll have to push through. Salt. I got you. Okay, I'll be in VC with you. Okay, I can promise you that.
All right. You're gonna tell me about that time you beat the Pirates, right?
We should live stream that.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully.
Hell yeah, I got you. Don't worry. That's a story time for another day. But rest assured, I'll be giving it to you.
All right. So yeah, I guess that's kind of it. For baseball. Link, do you have anything, I guess, for a bonus, if at all?
I've always got bonus content.
All right.
I'll go ahead and let's preface this. There was stuff this weekend in the college game. I'll talk about it more on the this thing I shout out every week. But I will get into a few things. Yeah, definitely huge fraud alerts. Teams exposed. Shenanigans abode. We had, I think, 3 teams in the top 10 lose. Texas A&M, Clemson, and who was the other one? Oklahoma did not lose. They almost did, but they're still on that fraudulent side. Clemson's not going to make the playoff. That's going to snap their 6 years playoff run, 6 straight. And I don't think they're leading their division in the ACC title game, but with how the ACC is this year, they could come back and at least play for, I guess, the appearance in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun week. In other news, name something that you would most likely fall asleep to. And you said 2021 South Point 400 from Las Vegas. Survey says, ding, 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 number 1 answer on the... Yeah, that was a horrible race at Las Vegas this past Sunday. No one could pass. No anything. It was all... And honestly, it would have been a lot more interesting if Reddick didn't get blocked by lap traffic and then screw up his pit strategy at the end. Yeah. It looks like it was going to be another week of Larson winning, but fortunately for everyone with, brain cells, he screwed up his pitch strategy, and that kind of put him a lap down. Yeah, Hamlin won, whatever. Talladega should be interesting. That's on Sunday. In other news, that in NASCAR, they launched their official Discord, like actually certified by Discord. There are actual people who work for Discord and actually have like a little badge right next to their name. But anywho, yeah, they've already banned the term Mickey Mouse and ratio.
Wait, really?
Hilarious. Yeah.
Yes, like they have one
Oh
of
my
those
gosh.
auto delete bots. Type in a phrase, they'll a bot will automatically delete it. Yeah, it's
Oh
sad.
my goodness.
Literally oppression. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. I guess in other news, I guess more in the soccer world. Real Madrid lost to a team in Moldova called Sheriff. Not happy with that, but I guess if you're a Sheriff fan, you could be really happy with that. I didn't watch the Formula One race. I guess for some sort of bonus news, training camps are getting underway in both hockey and basketball. When opening day approaches, we'll definitely give them some coverage. I don't think we'll give them previews in the style that we gave the NFL one. But we'll definitely give them their due time. It's going to be that lovable time of year where we have all four sports and that will be pretty insane.
Yeah, the equinox is shooting like in
Exciting.
October.
Yeah. It's kind of nice, now I think we're getting to the point again when we're covering this, the sports calendar is going to be normal again.
And also
Thank goodness.
maybe tune into December for special MLB versus labor coverage when the CBA expires.
Oh boy, that's going to be a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah, that's enough.
God bless
Enough
us.
All
more
right.
jokes.
So I guess
Wrap it up.
that's it for today. It was a pleasure having you guys on. It was a pleasure recording with you two again, Link and Steven. The Salty
As
Sports
with
Show
you.
signing off.